Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? This is Ty, uh, tuning in with the American Reaching Mahjong League here for some exciting A2 game action this evening. I am, of course, joined by John, uh, the commentator booth. John, how you doing?
I'm doing well tonight. I'm expecting some spooky play for our Halloween week stream. Should be a good one. We already got jump scared yesterday by a surprise Tuesday stream, so now on to our usual Wednesday stream. It should be a fun night.
I'm looking forward to it. And of course, back in the director's booth, we've got Nathaniel running the technical. We'll probably be hearing from him a little bit later. So thank you so much for all your help with this evening. So we're going to be getting started just a minute. A2 with Ari Tucker, Bin Yi, and Garth. Looking forward to a good game this season. Everybody's got off to a decent season start, nothing too dramatic, but we're hopping right in with Garth in the driver's seat to start out. And oh, yep, this is absolutely a half flush hand.
Gotta shoot for that Honitsu. You are way over the line for 10 tiles of the Pinzu and Honor tiles.
Yeah, assuming this call happens. Boom. Yep, we are already have cleared out all of our Dawn Honitsu tiles, which is
That was
very
fast.
nice.
Looking around at the other hands, Ari has a shot for Tan Yao, already clearing out all the ones, nines, and honors. Also, a potential to hedge Sanshoku, maybe drawing a two or three pin.
Oh my goodness! And with this, could we see this? This just feels illegal. This is also possibly Toy Toy.
Toy Toy on the left side. I mean, you've got now. You've got four pairs.
Oh, I meant from our dealer. Like this is, this has a potential. Oh, now we're just swimming in paired. What do we like? What do we even do here?
That's a guaranteed 12,000 bomb if it ends up hitting with the Toy and the Honitsu. Tossing out the 2-pin. Already tossed out the 3-pin earlier, so not having the shape avoids going into Furtin, but also pretty much confirms we're gonna be going for Toy on this one. Ricci called by.
Yep,
Give me a second. I'm learning the name.
Yeah, no. Ari goes ahead and calls Ricci. Ricci only. Well, no, sorry, Ricci door 1, waiting 4-pin, 8-pin. 1 left of each in the wall. This definitely puts Garth out of position, but of course, Garth could absolutely use any of those tiles to his own advantage. So, would not have to deal in this situation.
This is personally a push situation for me from Garth's perspective. Bin Yi draws the 8-pin and keeps it in his hand. The potential value of this hand is just too much for me to pass up. Albeit drawing the 6-pin, you could lose the plot a little bit and go for take the Toy out of the hand. It looks like that's what Garth is gonna end up doing.
Yep, still not out yet, but is able to pivot a little bit. Of course, does accidentally set a Suji trap, but at this stage, but it's a Suji trap. Oh, well, the wall hands out the last possible tile.
Be a 1,000, nice. 2,000, 330.
Be a nice decent 4K. It says 5K, but of course includes the stick. Pick up. Kick us off, and we're off to Bin Yi, who was just actually hanging out in the booth with us a minute ago. We will be seeing all 4 games of this stretch this evening. So I hope y'all are buckled in and ready to go.
Potential Pinfu hand for Bin Yi. Just gotta do some cleanup and maybe draw another block.
I don't know if I want this to be, though, because we are sitting in the east spot, and east is currently Dora, and we are holding on to one.
That is
good. What do you like to do with this situation? Because, your dealer, especially when it's double east, being both your seat and the round wind, how long do you like to hold on to this tile if you don't see any go out?
Personally, I'm still in the cleanup phase with this hand, so I'm trying to clear out the terminals and honors that aren't the East. Um, if I don't have to throw the East anytime soon, and I'm not missing out too much on efficiency, I'd like to hold on to it for a little bit longer. But then at some point, if it does no longer fits in the hand, I'd like to throw it out. There's already been two East discarded, so now we're starting to think in that direction.
Yeah, sadly, we will not get the Dora bomb, at least from the east this round, as it's already twice cut. It kind of does make it a safe tile, though, and it looks like you might be holding on to a little bit. You never know; it might pair up. In worst case scenario,
Each.
we're pretty confident nobody wants it. But oh my goodness, what a gorgeous hand from Garth! That is going to be it's technically Ricci only right now, but if we can get the one of characters in, that will be Ricci Sanshoku. Very nice hand to have at this stage.
One or four characters would end up completing the hand for Garth. There's only four of them left in the wall. I don't know why I said only. That's actually a pretty healthy number to have in the wall when you go for Ricci.
Absolutely. And depending on how much
Chi.
we could see the lower end deal in here, depending on what Binyi draws. Because of course, when it's your dealership, you do want to try to hold
Sumo.
on to it as best you can. But the
If
sumo,
you get the best draw, Ricci,
that is
Sumo, Sanshoku, and 2 Ura! That's a
oh,
holiday for 3,000, 6,000! Oh! Garth got lucky with the one Mon draw, and then got even more lucky with the double Ura. Bump it up to Hanemon. Garth taking a quick lead.
that's very, very nice. That's the kind of hands you want to see. And everything going right for that one. And is subsequently rewarded the nice hand to start us out again. But I think that the dealer seat might have some Pinzu Honitsu leanings yet again.
Pinzu Honitsu, the early drop of the 7 cell kind of indicates that they're gonna try to shoot for Honitsu.
No need to disguise what you're feeling whenever the hand is this nice. Although this East draw right now is also a little unfortunate, drawing it right after the other two have been discarded, meaning it's going to be it's going to be have to be at best a pair.
That early 9-pin discard is gonna serve as some good camouflage, however. Who's paying attention? You know what, just
Is this 7 pairs half flush?
7 pairs half flush, although I would like to pivot this hand into being a regular hand that isn't 7 pairs. You can get some pretty good mileage out of the triplet of the East or even the green or red dragon. It is Ishanten for 7 pairs though.
The 7 pairs half flush is oftentimes one that you don't see very often because of the patience it requires to not just call all of your, especially your honor pairs in. Let's see, decision time right here. Yep, and just like you said, we're going to pivot off of that. Let's see, what decisions here. Yep, East makes sense, It's the dead pair, so now any calls for any of these other pairs will be tempai.
Gonna need to see a 3-pin or green or red dragon come out. On the other side of the table, Garth is holding on to those green and red dragons for a little bit of an extended time.
Obviously, Tucker here in the dealer seat does not realize it, but it is a little bit of a race against the clock because over to his right, Ari has a Dora pair that looks very usable in the hand. Oh, got to Tenpai first.
Tenpai by Tucker waiting for the 3-pin or the green dragon.
It's almost entirely held. Big Yi has the 3 pins. There's one green dragon left in the wall. The other Garth has, and I'm not convinced to let it go. Ooh, we got Tenpai though.
What's the play gonna be here?
Do we drop Dora for the 3-sided? Yes, we do.
Dropped Ricci by Ari dropping the Dora, going for the 3-sided weight 258. So So now we've got two players. Now we have two players in 10 pi.
It is worth
Potential
it
for
is
lateral.
it is worth mentioning that this weight variety is fertin. It is cannot win by stealing because the 8 in the pond.
Oh,
So
so Ari is in Furton.
still can draw it though. It's a nice healthy shape.
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
Each.
Decent amount in the wall. We're gonna have a Ricci by Binyi waiting for the draws the 2-so.
Oh, just in time.
420, the biggest scam in Ricci Mahjong, 1326. Moving on
Yep.
to East 4 now.
That was a very nice pickup, and that just goes to the classic say that don't be afraid of Furitan because anytime that you are in Furitan, you do get sumo as a Yaku as well.
I personally think going Ricci in Furton, it's very dependent on what your weight is. Like if you have a pretty healthy Ryeonman or 3-sided, might as well throw down the stick. You're gonna be in Furton, but you still have a good chance of drawing it. Speaking of drawing, Ari with a triplet of green dragons to start off.
If we're feeling greedy enough, are we feeling another Pinzu Honitsu tonight?
That 5-6 so shape is very healthy, and we're dealer, so we want to try to rush those hands as quickly as we can. So personally, I'm leaning towards not going for Honitsu, but we'll have to see how Ari ends up playing this out.
Yeah, has a nice lead, so doesn't have to. We are seeing though Tucker possibly in vengeance of his lost dealership, does have a very nice Tanyahan building up that could also easily upgrade to a Sanshoku with the right draws. So I do think we're about to see a big value shift here, especially also with Garth having a Dora pair.
That 5-so is gonna be useless. Throw the red. A lot of routine play going on here. Player stuck in E Shanten or Ryan Shanten purgatory.
Yep, there's always a couple rounds that might just come and go without much change, but I have a feeling we're about to see this kick off with just the right draws. That's a big pickup right there for Garth. Gonna go ahead and start trimming the shape around the Sozu. It
Each.
picks up another Dora for Tempai. That is Ricci Dora 3 waiting on 3-6 pin, which is very significantly held by our dealer. That only leaves.
There's only 2 3-pins left in the wall.
Yep, but we also have Tempai from dealer just for Green Dragon only. It is Dama, so no Ricci. And the 2 pins, there is one left in the wall. So but I do not see Binyi giving those up easily.
Personally, when I'm dealer, I like to throw down the stick whenever there's a 3-pin draw that's gonna fit very nicely into the hands. Not coming out anytime soon, probably.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's another 2 pin, but we're backing off of Tempai because that Formon does not feel safe here. And this is an understandable move from all right. It's East 4, so we still got a good bit of game to go, and our hand here is not the most valuable, but we do have Tempai here again. This time we'd be waiting on 4 pin.
I don't think that Formon comes out. We're gonna have to shift towards something that includes the Formon in it.
Yep, it looks like we are backing off completely. We're going to start dropping the green dragons here.
Well, now, Tucker just showed you the light and Formon is safe, so a little bit annoying whenever I see that when I fold and right away I see that the tile that I was keeping on was safe, but
Chi.
Ari's just gonna throw all the greens, play totally safe here.
And it looks like
Tenpai.
Tucker had a way to sneak back in, but decided to back off yet again. It looks like we are just going to see this go to draw.
go to draw. Garth not being able to cash in on the Dora triplet. Just a little bit too scary for everyone at this table. Happy Halloween, by the way. On to South 1. Garth has gone under the 40k line. Gonna start off with dealer. Garth has a little bit of a challenge against Ari, who is around 3,000, 4,000 behind, and you've got a battle for not last between Bin Yi and Tucker, albeit I think this game is close enough that any one of these players with a decent sized hand could still challenge for first.
Oh, absolutely, and sadly, not as insane of a dealer start this time around. But is going to coast onward. I think the hand to beat here might be Tucker's Across the Way. It's not particularly expensive, but it will be cheap enough to move this on. But I imagine Tucker might even skip a red dragon pawn here to see if it could fish for a little more value.
That hand definitely does look more valuable open than it does closed. There is an out to call the red dragon. Now we're starting to get into the middle discards a little bit. Tucker has multiple pair candidates they can play with as well.
And Garth, let's see. Ooh, I have a call here. Oh, we don't know if Garth wanted to see that because Tucker decides to take it instead. Looks like Garth elected for the Tanyao shift. Might be looking to see about just getting the repeat here. Does have some Sanshoku upgrades though. We'll see if we can pull those in.
I
Meanwhile, I don't know if we're gonna see Binny drop this red dragon lightly now. This could just be a denial. Oh, there we go. And that is Tempai for Tucker waiting on the 7-mon and the red dragon. Of course, the red dragon is the only one that gives a win here.
Red Dragon, and Dora. That would only be in the neighborhood of 2,000, maybe 26. Interesting shape we have building up on Ari's hand with the 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Oh, you draw the 7-mon, but you can't win on it, so now you're on fur 10 and you have to draw the only red dragon left in the wall.
Yep. Could still pawn it in order to give the hand to Yaku, but will have to shift now. And that is... It's not quite Tempai on the left here. But that is Tempai for Garth, and this could spell trouble for Tucker because, of course, the 7-mons holds most of the weight, and if he decides to give them up, we'll deal in.
If I'm Tucker and I throw the 7-mon, I wouldn't be particularly upset. Sure, it extends the game a little bit, but it's also not terribly valuable of a hand, so I don't feel too bad. Sure, it might take me under 20k, but I mean, dealing in is just a part of the game.
Oh, but the Pinfu sneaks in from Ari. Pinfu Dora 1. Nice little pickup there to kind of pad the lead in and move direct competition off the dealer seat. Very, very nice there.
Great Dama by Ari. Ari, I must have snuck past our view as well. Gotta take the lead with that one. And it also takes dealership off of Garth. So if Garth really wants first that badly, he's gonna have to force some plays out because he doesn't have a dealership left in this game. But Garth drawing a pair of the Norths, that is his seat, so he's off to a healthy start. Potential to call, maybe potential for Honitsu, albeit that 3-5-5 Mon shape is too good to pass up, I would imagine.
Interesting drop from Ben Yi here. I'm wondering if this might be a hedge for possibly Cheetoy, just because the shapes in this hand are just very awkward to use. Is going to keep a triplet of the Formon though, so this could be either a Cheetoy or an all triplets route.
I imagine this hand is just gonna be a regular hand. Although I am curious
C.
about that 5 so discard when you've got the 2 and 8 to
C.
drop. Calls the 7 6 8. What do you think the play is here, Ty?
You know, I think we're going to have to see that. That is an interesting pickup with the 9 drop. I maybe suspect this is definitely going to pivot towards Tanya, all simples hand. Could just be deciding that this hand is just not going to be quick enough to pick up, and of course, Binyi has some work to do to try to catch his opponents. There's really no reason to settle for a third place, especially one like this.
Quietly, Tucker has entered 10 pi. They're waiting for the 3 pin. Uh, Ari's holding on to a 3 pin, so there's only one left in the wall. You could still change out that 2 4 pin, however, hedge maybe a Champon, or if you draw the 5 pin, go for the 3 6 9 for 10.
Yeah, I do think we are happy with this shape though, and that is Tempai for Binyi waiting on just the 8 pin.
Kong.
Of course, with this kind of weight could shift.
Con.
Oh, a con! Another con! Oh, no, that hand suddenly just got a little expensive between all the food picked up from that as well as the door that was already there. This could be expensive, but the real expense now comes for Tucker, who just was gifted a Dora triplet. So that hand went from, hey, I'm going to go ahead and call this down in order to advance the game to the definition of expensive.
We have a lot of 10 pies going on around the table. 10 pie for Garth, waiting for the 2 5, I believe. 6 is gonna deal into Binyi, who is the dealer. That is probably the cheapest hand you could deal into this table. Tanya know me. It keeps the game going, but maybe a wipe of the brow there. You deal into the cheapest hand that was in 10 pie.
Yeah, well, did he looking for the repeat there, as well as what he may not have realized was a big diffusing of a real monster of a hand, and looks like he just picked up a hand that could reward him the extra dealership. But across the way, we are already one away from 7 pairs Dora 2 over in Ari's hand.
I would imagine this would be a 6 so drop instead. Drop the green dragon. Hedging for other options to take if the 7 pairs doesn't quite happen. 7 pairs is kind of a fun hand to build up, because when you get to 4 pairs, Rion Shanten, 5 pairs, E Shanten, but when do you want to pivot out of 7 pairs because you might not be feeling it or there's better options? You gotta make sure that you're staying, you're not walking back Shanten. So if you have to cut from 5 pairs to pivot towards something else, you have to make sure you're staying in E Shanten. I just find that aspect of playing the 7 pairs hand to be interesting.
Yep, and we have Tempai. Of course, it is dueling with the dealer who is on 8 pin, which with full commit to the keeping the door shape here. So now we have competition. I imagine that if someone pulls an east, they will most likely throw it, unless someone can really find them. Oh!
Oops! You deal into the dealer, non-Dora.
Just south door 1 has to lose the stick there too, and the real value there for Binny is yet another dealership. Looking to
Binyi keeps the dealership going, working his way out of the below 30K line Maybe one more hand gets him over 30k, I would have to imagine.
Oh, this
Garth
one's
with
going
a
to go
Garth
to
with a shot for Kokushi?
very nice Kokushi off the bat. However, I don't know if we're going to see some of those tiles get thrown early on. Oh,
Never
not
mind.
quite. Was
Kokushi
headed.
alert has been turned off.
No, no. I think that just might be because of some early drops. It just definitely dissuaded that effort, and that's a tough one to pick. And also, it's not a fight that Garth really has to pick here. And a nice pickup with the Green Dragon pair. However, don't know how quickly we'll see it with the very hard Honitsu push from across the way. This time, the pin Honitsu hand is not in the dealer's seat. This is the first time for everything.
Chance at Honitsu for Ari. Gonna call that as well. Possible shot for Honitsu Toy Toy. Another call by Ari. Gonna need to pair up one more thing or draw an 8 pin. You also do have the pair of the Souths, which could...
Another Dora for Garth. It went from a hand that might be looking like it's 13 Orphans into Dora triplet. Ishan 10 really needs that Green Dragon, but if draws anything else, could also Ricci this hand. And we may very well see the Green Dragon come out here. Who's going to drop it first?
That's a call by Garth. It's not quite gonna be Tenpai. This is gonna be Tenpai for Binyi, waiting for the 7 Mon. Tanyao Nomi, but it will keep the dealership going, which is key, and is gonna deal in! Tanyao Nomi. That will put Binyi back to 30k, and his dealership is gonna keep going. Repeat 3, South 2. What to do with this hand?
Oh, this might be one of the slower ones yet for Bin Yi, but still wanting to soldier on, says, I'm not done until I say we're done. However, it looks as though Garth has the hand to beat here. Already has seat win triplet, as well as some very nice shapes, and depending on how greedy we're feeling, this could even be a flush. However, I do think there's some value in just trying to move this game along, but also want to try to pad the lead here.
That 4-6 so shape is looking very good, albeit it is also very cuttable.
And that greed here will also probably affect how well it goes for Bin Yi, because of course, if Garth plays his hand normally, I guess keeping the honors, then we'll hold on to that east, but we'll cut that east rather a lot sooner, which will then really speed up his hand. However, he doesn't even seem to be waiting around for that. Goes ahead and calls. Will not have a Yaku yet, but is really anticipating that east coming out at some point.
We did see a player get burned earlier, making early calls hoping to lean on Yaku high, and then they ended up in Fur 10. Will the same luck end up falling on Bin Yi? Nope. Calls the east, and we already have a Yaku. Ishan 10. Only one pair, but you could call the 4-pin or 4-so, get yourself into 10-pi from there, or 2-so.
Yep, a lot of options here. Definitely, once again, looking to just keep it cheap and move it forward. And it does not look like people's hands are shaping up quickly enough to slow this down. Ari has to be wondering where the rest of the Dora are, because you'd think at some point somebody's got them, but actually the wall is holding all of them currently, except for one. Oh, speak of, that's a nice pickup. I think the danger just shifted pretty significantly to across the table.
Ari still has a few more steps to complete that hand, but getting that Green Dragon draw is always nice. Now it's gonna be a triplet of the Green Dragons.
what we were likely just deciding would be our pair has now become a Yaku and an entire triplet, but but not to be outdone yet. Pinyi is Tenpai waiting on just the two, so two still in the wall.
Ari's gonna call that, force something out with the Green Dragon triplet, which is also the Dora. This would be a huge hand if it ends up winning.
Fight is on. Let's see who can get there first.
Binyi's in auto discard mode unless if something ends up upgrading that 1-3 so shape, I imagine. Ari gets their pair with the 7 pins. This is perfect Ishanten, 2 pairs with a guaranteed out for Ryeonmen shape.
Yep. Very callable hand here. It's got gonna be but the two!
No.
Again! Binyi, saying just one Han only starting to get a little expensive when it's over and over and over and you get repeat and repeat. And what is this? What is this? The Pinzu Honitsu is back.
Easy route for Pinzu Honitsu, but if you're Binyi reading the flow, do you even have to go for Honitsu? You could probably play this hand normally and get an easy win. That's what you've done the last 4 hands.
At this point, why not go for it? We're all flowed up, ready to go. Like the momentum is definitely in Binyi's favor right now. One thing I always find a little interesting is that every deal in here has been from both Garth and Ari. Tucker has been off the right, just putting together some good hands, and it just is not quite coming up every time. Just kind of watching everybody else play this out. I'm hoping he's looking at this hand, hoping to make a move here with the double south. Yep, absolutely calling that. Already one away.
Tucker playing from the last position as well. It must be a little bit frustrating seeing that deal-in happen constantly, but the deal-in is not worth a whole lot. Tucker's gotta be thinking, when is the bomb coming that will punish whoever dealt in? I'm sitting here in last, I'm waiting for everyone else to get below me. Everyone is around everyone is around 30k right now, and with Binyi, who was going for the bomb Honitsu hand, shifted away from it with a good 5-6 Mon shape, there is a good chance for that to happen.
Another interesting pickup, though. We're almost doing a little too well for Binyi's perspective. We are overblocked at the moment, but this does give us the ability to pivot either direction. We do not know where any of our honor pairs are at the time, but that's a nice pickup for Tucker. Do we see the 8-9 cut? We do. Looking to use that 5-5-5-3 shape as our pair. Could end up with a nice weight.
What I always find interesting. What I always find interesting about those 5-5-5-3 or 5-5-5-4 shapes is that they always result in some interesting weights. But at the same time, whenever I try to keep them on the efficiency trainer, it's always telling me, no, you gotta leave the triplet alone. It's like, which way do I want to play it from there? Interesting drop, rejecting the 4 Mon pair.
I wonder if we're fishing for something specific with that cut.
Possibly of course, Sanshoku?
Maybe. The hand's already called, so it definitely reduces the callability a little bit. Are we getting, we could be getting rewarded here. Was this the Sanshoku shift that we just couldn't see?
Either way, this is Tenpai for Tucker waiting for the 3 Mon. Pretty healthy 3 Mons in the wall, only 3 Mons left. Binyi is just gonna start calling. Try to get it into Tenpai and force a repeat 5.
Oh, and then Tucker then pulls in the upgrade, adding the 6 Mon to the weight. Of course, there's 3 out, but then just draws the last one anyway. There you go.
Double Non is going to end the dealership run of Binyi. East 4, pretty impressive. Got Binyi over 30k. but now the
Mo-
dealership moves on.
Mom said it's my turn in the dealer seat.
Mom said it's my turn at the dealership. I'm in last place. I want to take advantage of this dealership, win some hands, get myself back over. Great opportunity to do so.
Yep.
136 says that comebacks are always possible as long as you have a dealership left in you.
Yep. This is a nice hand to start off that dealership as well. A lot of shapes, either halfway or all the way done. You know, a lot of different ways you can pivot this. This will probably a hand that you end up reaching, but we're more than happy with that. Interesting cut decision here. Gonna go ahead and keep all the shapes.
Bin Yi has a good 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pinzu three-sided white shape. Doesn't quite have the pair yet, although you could shift the 5 so to be your pair. Or you can also use the 3 pin to be your pair. I guess not.
And that 3-pin pickup from Tucker also upgrades this to Tanyao as well. So looking to also get some value out of this. We cannot necessarily expect the same type of run that we watch Ben Yi have. We need to get points while basically like while the sun's shining. So while we have our dealership, let's pull in what we can. Especially with that south call across the way from Garth, one away. And that is the door triplet as well. So this could has potential also be a very expensive swing.
Dama wait by Bin Yi waiting on the 7 mon. It would be Tanyao Nomi, I believe.
Yep.
No one's
Just
gonna
all
no one's gonna suspect it, but I also imagine no one's gonna drop the 7 mon. It is pretty well built up into everyone except Garth's hand. Now we're gonna see the shift here.
to shift to a nice 3-6. What you have dueling weights here. Both are very nice, but also both of them pretty well held.
Sumo.
Not just sumo.
Just sumo. Pinfu, Tanyao. 700, 1300. It's like his dealership never ended. He's gonna continue winning these cheap hands and building up. He's in the lead now after winning a lot of cheap hands and stringing them together.
And going into South 4, Nicholson dimes his way into first. Very, very nice. And then I'm sure at this point, with this very early Tuso call, has decided, all right, I've got it now. Let's get this over with.
Easy shift to Tanyao with a lot of calls. Lock in your win. Move your way up the board. Get out of the relegation area. Garth with a fast call on the north, so I imagine relying on getting a green dragon call. Ari has a shot for a full flush, maybe? Early 8-0 discards seem to be indicating that.
Yeah, this is still very much anyone's game here. Oh, that's a nice pickup for Tucker. And yep, we look like we're very much looking for that full flush pivot here. It's just a matter of if it can outspeed these other hands. It's going to be tough, but of course it would be huge and a good way to confirm first here from the dealership.
Garth calls those green dragons. Now needs to find a pair.
And for Ari, this is also very a hand that could very easily just shift to an all simples hand in order to just retain the dealership and have another go at it. Even just a small win here is absolutely necessary. Just put him over 30K. That is Tempai waiting on 3 mon across the way though, and we can only see one of them.
3 mon to end the game and take the win. 3 mon are left in the wall. One's got to come out.
Oh.
Bin Yi
Tanyao ends it all.
Stacks up a string of 1 Han, 2 Han, 1 Han, 2 Han hands. Has a dominating dealership. Nickels and dimes his way to take the first game of tonight.
That was absolutely Ari and Garth's game to win there, and it just trickled out of their hands. You pick up a nice plus 20. Garth or plus 8.2. I imagine if we're not too mad about a minus 5.7, and Tucker unfortunately fourth with a minus 22.5. Just the hand, just having to watch that hand come and go sometimes, and that's true with some of these games. Just sometimes the wall just does not put much together for you. It's a very tough game sometimes.
I'm looking at the game results here. There were 12 hands that were played in this game. Binyi won 6 of those hands, all of them in the South round. Um, can you get do you remember what Binyi's biggest hand was?
I believe it was a three Han hand right after his dealership.
South 3, Sumo Pin Fu Tanyao, 3 Han, but 20 Fu,
Yep, obviously
2700.
rolling those big numbers, and
We
that
have a chat member saying we are getting all the way to Honba 10. Do you know if Armel has the rule where if we get to Honba 8, we do not have the repeat the Honba 8 rule. So in theory these games could go on for as long as they want to go on for.
yep, no, okay, yep, we'll be back. Looks like the next game we'll be starting with very soon. In the meantime, it looks like that was a very, very nice pickup for Bin Yi. Um, that oh, yep, the first of the season. And it's not even necessarily reflected in his win averages. You think the win average might have been brought down a little bit by that, but it's not exactly low here. It's a little on the lower side, but has this nice pickup here definitely will help bring this back to even. Actually, looking at A2, it's very interesting. The out of 20 people, the cut is all the way up at eighth for positive to negative. So there's already we have a handful of people hoarding a lot of points, and we're already on average maybe about 7 to 8 games in.
Garth is still in that Garth is still in the relegation zone looking for his first win. Could this be it? Well, we're gonna start with Binyi as dealer. How many repeats are we gonna get this time around? And it's already looking like a healthy hand too. 4 pairs. Lots of ways you can divert from 7 pairs if you need to.
Not the north keep there would indicate just a very very hard keep for 7 pairs, but is not entirely convinced yet. Well, I'm very interested to see how Benny decides to navigate this hand. Although another interesting hand we have here is Garth's. Gonna see what shape decides to take that in. Is also has an overabundance of pairs, but one of them is stuck in the middle of one of his sequences. Oh, that's a very nice pickup. Good way to help fix and enhance that Sozu shape. Oh, and that was not entirely the shift I was expecting, but it does look like Bin Yi has decided this is a flush. Very nice shift here with a lot of options. Was not quite convinced of that at the time of the first West call, but that does mean, yep, there we go, second West call.
Binyi finally deciding to put some value into his dealer hands. We got a Ricci by Ari, waiting for the 4 or 7 so.
Yep.
Binyi's just gonna ignore it and continue to call.
Very classic Ricci Pin Fudora to start us out. Always a nice hand to find, especially early on. Shift and Garth shifting away even with that east, which is really completely live. Oh, but immediately gets chucked. Let's see. We're gonna shift here.
This will not be 10 pi for Binyi. Two Mon gets chucked out. Potential out for Itsu for Itsu by Binyi, you have the 4-5-6 shape, and you have the 8-9 waiting for a 7-mon. Garth does have 2 7-mons, 3 7-mons. If one of them comes out, you do have a shot for Itsu.
Very smart one so drop here. Even if we're playing for safety, we do know where oh no, wait, that one has passed already. My mistake. But as I say, looking at it, that's often a good way to determine safety is if you hold that made the 2 so and you can see some of the 1 so already gone, it really reduces the number of shapes that could be dangerous.
Holding on to that red dragon for quite a while. 2-pin is safe.
Each.
Oh, no,
There's gonna be a Ricci call by Garth. Waiting for the 2... Waiting for the 2, 5, or 9 so.
Very
really
nice.
Great 3-dimensional wait with the possibility of San Onko if he draws the 9 so. Or even the 2 so.
Oh,
And Ori's gonna draw the tile. Had to wait quite a while, but we have 4 Han. We have 6 Han! Hanemon bomb to start us off. Ari takes the quick lead. 43,000. Hear me out. I don't like having an early lead.
Why not? Now it's when you early lead, it's everyone else's problem.
Whatever I lead early, and this could just be me having bad flow on ladder, I just start to bleed points slowly from people sumoing, and I feel like a sitting duck.
I would much rather be bleeding points from an early lead than from a hole that I've already found myself in. So I see what you're saying, but I'd rather have points to lose.
Keep the salt out of the commentary box. This is a very good start by Ari, already in good standing for Tanyao.
Yep, Tanya, possibly even a 5-6-7 Sanchoku, or even a 6-7-8 if we just end up heading that direction. Oh, then run on the 6-7-8. Yep. Very quick pickup there. Looking with that call based on the shapes, looking to probably just put something together quick and move this along. There's definitely some incentive to keep Ari off the dealership.
Boom.
Then he has a potential shot for Itsu drawing the 1 or 6 so. I've noticed that Itsu is very tempting, but it never seems to actually come to completion. Draws the 4, so gonna keep dancing around with that shape. Tucker with a healthy amount of pairs here. 1 pin or the white dragon. Yep. Albeit...
All right, we're 1 away, and decides to go ahead and cut the 6. Not hurting. Ari's not hurting for pairs, so that's a nice thing to go ahead and lock in that double-sided shape, as well as giving some options to still keep that Sanshoku going.
Possible out for a 3-mon.
Oh, and there's the last 8. I don't think do we want to keep a hold of this, though? I don't think we do.
Going for 3-6-9 would potentially put us in for 10. Gotta go for it anyways. Still a good chance to draw it. Still a good chance to draw your winning tile. 3-6-9 for 10, not the worst thing that could happen to you.
I was curious
this might be a call.
Hey, there we go. It's good. Oh, skips on the draw on the 6-mon, and that would have been very, very nice. However, we are still Tempai. Just Tanya.
Take the Tanyao.
Ari says, I can do this too.
Tanyao by Ari. Going into repeat 1. The road to repeat 10 begins here.
Oh, very
Ari with
nice.
a very good start with 4 pair. Take a look at Binyi. Pair of the white dragon, pair of the green dragon, pair of the east. Which one do you take? It's like I'm walking through a candy shop and I'm 10 years old.
It's so nice here, and you can be as greedy as you think you can get away with here. Doesn't I would definitely not want to try to think about the flush here, but I don't have to because I got an east pair, and I've got plenty of ways to hold on to it without ever like what the east is already one out, which would make it harder to find the last one. However, it doesn't matter. I could just use that a pair. I have so many other options here. Just has to outspeed his competitors though. Everybody else at the table looks like they have very fast hands on the way. We'll see where we can find it because it does look like Garth holding on to these dragons just long enough. Oh, there goes first one.
There goes the first one. Gonna drop the 6-mon, secure that 6-7-mon shape. I personally would have liked to see Wes come out here, but okay. Call the green dragon. Tenpai waiting for the 5-8-mon, and no one has any idea that you're holding a bomb pair in that hand.
Absolutely, this is definitely the better shape to take because this also jams up. Art. Oh,
Deals in.
completes the shape.
Get jump scared. Haku Hatsu, Dora 2, Mongon. That's gonna put Binyi a little bit closer into the neighborhood of competing with Ari. Tucker going into 4th once again. But Tucker's dealership. Tucker's 2 dealerships left. Still some time to get out of this position.
It's a very nice hand to do so, though. Jerry said no pickup of the Souths. Might not even want to bother with them. They're good outs, and also, oh, look at that. Definitely nice pickup there with Dora. Might be actually just using them as the pair here.
This is 4 pairs, so you could go for 7 pairs if you really wanted to. But the shape being made with the Sozu is so nice. I would imagine you could play this as a normal hand. Gonna be a call by Garth.
Expected so drop there. Hand has a possibility of accepting a little more value, but doesn't have to. But
That's Tenpai for Garth. They're waiting for the 5-8-mon.
Nope, that's
Kid
not
Garth has got a deal in.
That's Ari. It's Yakuhai, Dora 1. Moves the dealership along. This guy's going a lot faster than the last one. We're already East 4.
You say this one is moving a lot faster than the last one, but if I recall, we only had 4 East hands the last game. So the South round is the one that slogs.
Does look like options here. What do you think, Ari? Do we want the... Yes, we're already in the lead. Ari wants the Pinzu Honitsu, a certified classic at this table tonight. We'll see if we can get together this time.
That handwriting makes it look very obvious, but if you can end up winning it, then what's the big deal of what your discard pawn looks like?
It definitely has the speed and the callability here, but not to be outdone. Tucker
Dama by Tucker, waiting for the 4-5 so.
Yep, yeah. It has the Yakai, and then with the green dragon, and then 1 Dora. Still it's definitely some outs here. Only 1 visible on the table, but might be fishing for some upgrades here.
Upgrade in the form of a 3-so or 6-so could make this a Ryeonmen weight. Meanwhile, we have Ari and Tenpai waiting for the White Dragon only. Could also upgrade that, drawing the 6-pin to make it a 3-sided weight with the 3-6-9 pin.
Absolutely. And I think the big upgrade that Tucker's looking for here, at least I do high Tucker's, is the Sanshoku upgrade. That you definitely would send it on that. But instead, looks like the 5-6-7, at least in the Sozu, is picked up by Bin Yi. Very nice draws there. And an 8 to boot. Doesn't need it. Send it back.
Boom.
Very interesting that you had a two-sided 5-so or 8-so, and depending on which one you deal at, depending on which one you discard, one of them ends up dealing in.
Sumo.
Oh, then just sumo from Bin Yi for Tanya Dora 1. Tucker did not find his upgrade, sadly. I would love to see that slam in, but then we go into the South round.
Into South round, Ari, who built up a big lead early, is still leading this game. Benny is trying to mount a challenge, albeit he still has to do a lot. Garth and Tucker are competing for not last at this point. One big hand could do a huge favor, or one long string of dealerships, as we saw with Binyi last game.
That is all it takes, and it looks like we have 3 players fishing for Dora. So one of two things is either going to happen. We're either going to Tucker's going to draw at 2, and we're all just going to be dancing around each other, or some lucky contestant here is going to get it paired up. We'll have to see which. Could of course just have it where someone knocks it out early, but I'd like to think more exciting options.
Quick call by Bin Yi, hedging towards Tanya. It could be Tanya or it could be Toy Toy. A lot of ways to go around this hand. What I'm most worried about is that there's only 4 blocks in this hand.
Oh. Yeah, I think we're definitely looking for that 5th block to be around, ideally, one of these dragons.
Tucker goes into E Shan 10. 7-pin, 1-1. Well, gonna take 10 pie, waiting for the 7-pin, albeit it's I don't think there's a Yaku in that hand.
There is. It's Chanta. It's half outside. So
Chanta!
All of the shapes contain a 9 or a 1, a 9, or an honor tile. It's one that's not always as commonly seen. Oh, there's the big Toy push that Benyi needed. Very nice. Already Ishan 10, but
Fake Chanta has appeared on the Armel stream. Chanta know me, 1300.
Tucker says, I don't know if this hand's going to be much else. Might as well win it. A hand won is better than points lost. So that will move us along to South 2. And let's see.
The other day
No, go ahead. Sorry.
The other day I won Daisongen, and I believe it was you, Tai, who described it as, ooh, Big Chanta. And I said to Big Chanta, do we have a new Mahjong code standing alongside the Sanzo? Big Chanta?
I see Chanta enthusiasm more of like it's almost like a regional like culture thing. Like I don't know if it's religious, but it is definitely up to people. It's definitely a preferential thing. Some people really like it. Some people treat it as forbidden Yaku.
I just know Chanta as being the Yaku that on Riichi Wiki says, do not go for this hand.
Oh, does it? I did not know that.
Taking a look around, it seems like everyone is enjoying a slice of the Dora party. 3mon being the Dora, 3 of them out and in different people's hands.
Yep. Art. Ooh, goes ahead and drops that. Are looking for something else. Having a very good game today. The lobster is too buttery and the steak is too juicy for Ari. Just swimming in options for her last dealership. Huge pickup though for Tucker. We are 1 away. A 4-1 draw. Very nice here.
Binyi is shooting for Sancho Kunomi, waiting on the 3-so.
That's not, it'll be plus Adora, so not insignificant, and also important being one of 2 players that is over 30K, so would be getting the positive side of the UMA.
リーチ
Oh, backfire there. Oh, there's a pickup. That is Ricci Dora 2, waiting 2-5 so from Tucker. This is the hand that he needs.
スモ
And
Oh,
he hits!
Ipot
They hit it!
Sumo!
Richi Patsu Sumo, that's Mongon. 2,000, 4,000. Great
That is
hand for Tucker.
perfect.
That's gonna put Tucker back in this.
It puts him in a very close, very competitive third place, and is also rewarded with a lovely Dora 2, lovely shapes hand going into dealership. I would argue, as Tuxus told me last week, there's something about this where the flow is almost more important here than the points. This is a huge momentum shift, and with a huge pickup to boot.
Completes the Conchon 7, 8, 9 pin. Gotta toss the 9.
Unknowingly might actually be making a golden decision here because that shape is actually the 7-9 shape is completely dead by way of Ari holding one of them, but more importantly, Garth holding 3 of them in a way that is not going to give them up. And this also gives us outs for all simples as well, which we definitely want to consider with how valuable this hand is.
Oh, that 4, 6, 8 Mon shape. Do you want to keep that? Gotta keep it.
Yep, that's a perfect fill here. That Pinzu shape lets you simplify this Pinzu shape. We're one away, a very nice one away.
Ishan 10, 5, 7
Gee.
Mon would do it. 3, 6 pin would also do it.
Oh, not to be outdone though. Looks like across the way, Bin Yi wants to go ahead and get this one moved on. Has a Tanyao shift. Could accept Dora, but does not have it currently.
Six pin is gonna drop. Would this be the shift to Tanyao? I don't think you have to speed up this hand quite yet. You are Ishan 10 and it's only the beginning of the middle discards. I don't quite like carrying 4, 6, 8 Mon into Ishan 10, but I've seen it hit.
Oh, that is not Tempai. What do we
That
think?
is not Tenpai, but it would give another pair.
No, we're just
Gonna
going to
throw
send
it
it
out.
back.
Staying
And
committed to that 4, 6, 8 Mon shape.
nice upgrade there for Ari. And then, but also it's worth mentioning, Garth is also one away here. Not a hit with what might be just like a Ricci +1, but is could be a nice sneaky weight here depending on the shapes that are drawn.
Garth does have last dealership, so Garth might be buying out time until his dealership, just trying to stay competitive for the time being.
Tucker, you're probably wondering where the heck are my shape fills for these for this Manzu shape, and it turns out that that Ari over there is just holding on to him. Oh, across the way,
Tenpai
Tempai on 5-8.
Tenpai on 5-8, so if you don't have God mode, then this looks like a pretty good weight, but we have it, and we can see that there's only... There's none of them left in the wall, actually.
Completely
5
held. And
8s
then
are...
Tempai for Tucker, though, on a much more live weight and decides to Dama. Wants to see if someone will stumble into it. And
Garth is gonna stumble right into it.
Pin
Fudora
Fudora
2.
2.
Tucker goes over 30k.
Yep, over 30K and straight into second. Now Ari, who's ruling the table here at the start, now has someone nipping at her heels. Tucker, they are back in this in a huge way.
I would be sitting pretty comfortably at 42,000, looking at my opponent in 33. If they want to jump me in one step, they're gonna need an 11-6 or a Mongon in the dealer position.
What
This
are
is
these bills for Tucker?
this is E Shanten for Tucker, 2-pin, 8-pin, 9-pin, 4-so.
The wall has picked a favorite at this moment. We will see if the blessings continue.
Do you have anything you like to do to try to gain favorability from the wall?
The wall and I have a tenuous relationship. I more try to trick the wall into giving it what I want. That is Tenpai
That is
here.
Tenpai. I do see a Dama. Dama no Yaku on the 4-so. Try to
Does not,
wait out for an upgrade.
unless it's Sumo's the hand, does not have a way to upgrade this. Oh no, that's interesting though. That's another Dora. Tucker, he's going to take it. I like this shift. Want to keep the value here. No point in dominating and also just rejecting value. Very easy. Oh no, that would have been lovely to have.
The walk back is unsuccessful for the time being. Still can make
Oh my
something out of his
goodness.
hand.
The wall sometimes is just can be so cruel. We do have a Tenpai across the way though. It is only one side of it does grant a win. The Formon would grant Sanshoku.
Each.
It is the best Sanshoku, so it has the guaranteed win rate. So
Ricci
better
waiting
watch
for
out.
the 6-9, so Binny's gotta throw down the stick. Not going to, waiting on the Formon only.
Did you say for now maintains Tenpai here? And also, it's worth mentioning that the Formon is completely safe to dealer, so that might get baited out. But Binyu's going to have to shove this 6-pin first. It does not look good, but decides it's worth it, sends it. And there's one of the winning tiles right there. Ari's hand.
6-so. 6-so,
Don't
make a decision. Deal into Binny! Pinfu Sanshoku!
And-
That's gonna end Tucker's dealership. That's gonna put Binny in second. And Ari has a challenge now. Binny is right on the heels of Ari.
It is anyone's game for first here. Garth has a little bit of work to do though. It's South 4, so this is just the start for Garth, and with a lovely starting hand, I think we're going to see at least one repeat here.
Ishanten. It is a lovely start for Garth. You say it's anyone's game. It's still Garth's game. I wouldn't count out Garth. He's got the last dealership.
No, absolutely. It's just a matter of how much we think about this South. Nobody else is holding much. Bitney has one of them, and is definitely incentivized to hold on to it being the South player. But as I say that, of course, goes ahead and chucks it. Probably does not want to wait for that to get dangerous.
South has got to come out sooner than later.
Yeah, for Garth, I think the value is in the repeats here. Still definitely get some good value here if we can get an all simples hand going.
All simples, but at the same time, Garth doesn't quite have the pair yet, and that 1, 2, 3, 4 Pinzu shape could be a nice double penchant weight.
Yep, it is. Yep, it is a double pair weight, which is nice. It's not a. It's one that you have to be able to count as your pair, and can sometimes be missed if you don't know how to look for it. But if you don't otherwise have a pair, these extended 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, just a 4 sequence shape can substitute in for a decent weight.
Binny gonna drop the 8-so, shifting towards a forced Tanyao. Two, 3, 4 has a... Binny has a shot at Sanshoku.
It will be some work to get there. I also see possible for Sanshoku also. Oh, I think that's might be our pair here. Maybe.
Each.
I don't want it to be. Oh. But we're gonna take that weight. That will be Ricci only waiting on a 5-pin middleweight. A gut shot, as I've heard Garth like to call it.
It might come out Tucker's not going to be able to fit in. Instead, Tucker's going to probably play for the fold here.
Yeah, that's a tough tile to push in this position, and also especially here, they have no reason to possibly give Garth more time. Of course, that would result in there are some incentive pushes as far as you do not want to give another dealership and the tempi payments, because that could get expensive if Tucker's the only one not tempi here at the end. There's another 5-pin.
There's another
So that
5-pin.
makes it usable. So yeah, if Tucker's the only one not in tempi at the end of this, it will dip them below 30K, which of course, even with another round, has an opportunity to take that back, but we'll be having to fight from that position in the repeat.
Garth has no 5-pin zoo left in the wall, although keep in mind if this hand goes to draw, the game would continue with Garth as dealer.
And I don't know if I see these cutting out. Mind you, Tucker, they are Ishan 10 with the 5-pin as the pair. And that also neutralizes Garth's hand here unknowingly, just because that weight is completely held. But however, we have an oddly live north here that Tucker noticed and immediately backs off from. Oh, we have Tempai across the way. It is
Tenpai waiting for the 2-8, so that would end the game against Garth. I don't think it's gonna come out though.
This is definitely a rough tile to push, and decides to back off at the very last second. And that gives Garth more points than this hand was most likely worth. That is an important shift. That
Triplet of Souths for Tucker.
Boom.
Easy route to Honitsu.
Tucker's probably no longer thinking about anything else, but that might have a shot straight towards the top here with this hand. That Honitsu could also add in Toy Toy. Oh, but Garth, this hand's going so fast.
Garth is already in Ishan 10, 3-pin 6-9, so also 2-pin Green Dragon would do it for him.
Oh, that's huge.
Garth
that's
also
Chanta upgrade.
Garth is hedging towards Big Chanta.
These are hands that some people only dream of, and it's just getting dropped in his lap. We might see the green and white dragon come out here.
Oh! Ricci waiting for the 6-9, so great time to throw down the string.
One. Oh, but 3 of the 9s are in Binyi's hand.
There's 1 9-so still floating around in the wall, but it would be amazing to hit Chanta here.
And there's
also only 1 6-so left. Ricci by Ari waiting for the 8-pin only. Tenpai by Tucker waiting for the 4-7-so.
Oh, the race is on.
The race is on. Tucker can still back out of it, but why would you at this point? That hand is so good. That would put Tucker in first place if Tucker's able to win it.
Binyi having to dance around this. And has a 7-5, but just sumos it. Oh my goodness, just shuts it down with the Ura as well.
Completes the Kanchan. Ari will take...
Barely dodging that 30K drop, though.
Ari will take the win here. Over 40K. Garth ends up deep in the hole. Going deep into the relegation zone. Garth is still looking for his first win this season. Ari going up into the promotion zone with that win. 3 wins, 3 seconds, 3 thirds. Only 1/4. That is a stat line I would love to have. Gotta be one.
That was a finish for the ages, though. Garth having to chase for the perfect draws, and just of course all the weight just gets held up. It was a 3-way chase going straight into the end, and of course that simple sumo just just takes it all. Very big pickup for Ari here. And of course, Tucker with barely dodging out, getting the +2, which after that turn of events, I'm happy with. Plus 0.2 specifically.
This is a particularly interesting season. A1 being only 16 players, so 4 will get demoted. The pressure is also going to be on A2 as well. Only 4 players are going to get promoted into A1 next season. That's one table worth of players.
Next game is getting underway here soon. Sadly, I have to step out for the night. It was so nice spending time with y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful evening. I will definitely be seeing y'all next week. Nathaniel, thank you so much for running the booth. John, thank you so much for your time here at the commentator's position. I hope you two have a wonderful night. And I hope the games continue to be just as exciting. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Ty, we're gonna take Nathaniel from behind the producer's seat and put a microphone in his hands. Nathaniel Howard, what? We just started watching. All right, no.
We
just
joined the
started
game,
watching.
and Ari is already ready to go. It's a Ricci only. Okay, so let's not get too excited just yet. No, we popped Simmel 3-6 pin the weight. Thank you so much, Ty, for the commentary earlier. It's been a fantastic set of games so far, and it's only continuing to draw our interest.
The transition buff by Ari, waiting for the 3-6 pin.
What a hand to finish things off. Ari with the chase on the Kanchan finds that Simmel. Tucker finding a chance to steal the win away. There's been a lot of nuance in these games, even going back to the first game. I'm so excited to be able to watch this. And we're going to see a challenge here from Garth. Tempai now waiting on the 7-pin, which is safe. It's safe to these players. We're going to see a chase from Tucker. Great weight, 1 4-pin, where 4-pin gives Ipeko alongside the Pinfu. So everyone's fighting here in East 1.
3 players in Tenpai. Pinzu being the... Oh, do we see a Khan here? Khan! That's gonna make the 5-pin more valuable. And the Ron by transition Ari, Ricci, Dora, and the Ura!
That Ura combined with all the bonus food, their plus 32 food is going to make that essentially a Mangan. 3-70 rounds up in this league to 8,000 points. Ari getting off to the good start.
That is a fast start by Ari, going for the second, I believe the second win of tonight. And of this table.
That was Bingy in game 1, Ari in game 2, and now leading here in game 3. Remember, game 2 that they won also started with a big early win. It was a Hanemon Sumo in that game. This time, a direct hit Mangan. Bihida will be our dealer.
Bingy's gonna cut away from the 1-so shape. Tucker
pairs
got some work to work on. Garth is gonna have a nice shape with that Pinzu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite a 3-sided weight if it was off the edge, but I still like to see the 5-number sequence.
Absolutely. You know, you're getting at least 2 sides to that. And 1 away from Tempai for Garth as well. He'll be hoping to draw the 3-mon so that he can shift towards a diamond shape and also towards the 3-4-5 Sanchoku. Across the table, Ari is also closing in on Tempai. Really needs to find middle pin tiles, 4 and 7 pins specifically. And then something to connect to this 4-so or the 3-mon. There is the 3-so connector that we were looking for. And then on the left, Tucker. Nice 6-mon draw. It's sad that we can't really get Tanyao so easily, but this is a really pretty 2 away.
3-4 pin shape for Binyi. Finally gonna cut out that 8-mon. This is gonna be a quiet Tenpai for Garth, waiting on the 3-6 pin for Pinfu.
Yeah, maybe waiting one
No.
turn for the Sanchoku upgrade, but it's just gonna get the roll for 1,000.
Pinfu no Mi.
Players at the table take note. Garth will Dama Pinshu.
Uh, it is a little bit of a hot contention, I think, whether to Ricci or whether to Dama.
Yeah, certainly it's a rough weight, that 3-6 pin weight, but also there were draws to extra value, so I feel like I've seen Garth in the past wait one turn and then slam a Ricci. I wonder if that's what he was planning to do there, but regardless, does find the win before that comes to fruition, so grabs 1,000 points and gets the dealership here. Nice fill of the pin tiles.
Garth is gonna fill in that Kanchan shape with the 7-pin draw. Gonna count the 9, so holding on to the White Dragon a little bit, albeit this is still kind of in the cleanup phase of the hand. Cuts out the 1-3 Mon Kanchan shape.
Yeah, if
Possibly
Garth
a
had
hedge towards Tanya.
certainly if Garth had a pair, it would be a little less inclined to do so, I think, but because this hand is lacking a pair, you might as well let that be the White Dragon, right? The Dora. We'll see if this does shift into a Tanya later. Oh, well,
A lot of the hands around here are still being worked on.
fortunately,
Ari has that unfortunate 8-9 shape.
yeah, a really sticky problem here is going to be that Hakudora across the table. Tucker holding one, Binyi holding one on the left. We saw this in one of the previous games. It's just tough to handle when the Dora is a dragon and so many players have a singleton.
Garth Valley cuts it out. I wonder if that's gonna prompt White Dragon drops across the board. Not quite yet.
And Tucker's pretty far from Tempai. Might even be thinking about Shitoi, so holds on to it a little bit. And also, Binyi has the north pair, which is his seat wind, and that means that he could potentially Dora Tonki in the future. So it's maybe worth holding on to a little bit longer for him as well.
Garth might be making a hedge towards Sanshoku. 5-6-7 pin is 5-6-7's looking pretty good. Now the 4-5-6-7-8 shape, 3-sided. You also are carrying the 3-5-7 Sozu into Ishanten.
Yeah, it's a little awkward, that 4, 5, 6, 7. That shift downwards runs into the 3-mon that's in the discards. So potential Shuri 10 3-sided weight in the future, but you won't be too sad, as now all the Dora has been discarded. Here's that exact scenario. Will not reach E.
Not gonna reach E. Garth is in Fur 10, 3-6-9 Mon.
Sumo.
Misses
Draws
out.
it himself though.
So back to
Sumo
back,
Pin Futanyo.
back to back hands that would have been Ipatsu wins had the Richi been taken. I'm a little bit more surprised that he didn't reach the second one, this one, given that it was 50-10 and the door was all discarded. But regardless, that will be a nice pickup and a repeat here in East 3.
Bin Yi with a gift of a bunch of honor. Possible out for Honitsu, maybe with the Sozu, but the 7-9 pin shape is looking decent. Triplet of the North, that is Bin Yi's seat wind.
It can comfortably call any tile that he wants, particularly something like the 8-pin. It looks like Tucker can't really use the 8-pin right now, so if it's drawn, it will probably fall out. Tucker does open up, though. Shouldn't call.
Fast call by Tucker taking the red dragons. Now just gonna have to build out the rest of this hand.
It's kind of got all the shapes it needs already, just hoping to make the shapes a little bit stronger. Find the 8-so, find a connector at the lower Monzu. Should be good to go. Garth, nice triplet though.
This is perfect Ishanten for Garth. Two pairs, the south and the 6-pin, and a guaranteed route to a Rionman weight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if the Mon tile is drawn to Tempai, whether Garth will take the 4-7 pin weight, or if he'll take the Champon. 6-pin south. I mean, the diamond weight is the typical choice. It's a little bit wider. The south weight is a little sneaky, but it's once cut already.
Binny's gonna take the call of the East, now representing 3 Han with the East, the North, and the Dora 9-pin. 10 Pi for Binyi, still waiting on a pair, could potentially use that 9-pin as the pair if he draws a couple lucky tiles.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love the 9-pin. Oh, I'm going to say Ricci from Ari, though, waiting on the 8-pin again. We saw this weight before, and it was successful. 3 tiles left in the wall. Okay, technically, hear me out. There are 4 tiles left in the wall. It's just that one of them is visibly in the dead wall.
Chi.
I see what you're thinking there, but draws
The chi to give
Ricci
the
Sumo Dora.
Garth got the side.
GK Garth making the call to break E-Pots, but it's not gonna matter. Ari will take the lead. Early lead yet again, over 40,000 into East 4.
Now with the Dora 5-pin, we'll look to extend this lead even further.
Seeing the Dora 5-pin always makes me excited because there's a chance to draw the Akka 5-pin. Albeit there's no Akka and Armal.
That's true. When you are playing with red 5s, the Dora 5 makes things a lot spicier. We'll see the West call across the table. Biggie trying to shut this dealership down.
You have a pair of white dragons for Tucker.
Tucker in a spot where they don't really want to just open up here for 1,000
Oh,
points.
that east draw is good. So now you can pretty much call this hand and have a guaranteed route with a Yaku.
Yeah, this
that is.
Ooh.
That is 6 blocks. Now going to move down to 5 blocks. Ricci Book 1 says 3 pairs are nice to have in your hand when you're intending to call the hand and open it up.
We're back up to 4.
Boom.
That's going to be 10 Pi for Binyi, waiting for the 6-pin. 10 Pi for Tucker as well, waiting for the 2-so or the white dragon.
3 tiles in the wall for Binyi. 4 tiles for Tucker. White dragon yet to be seen, as well as the 2-so. It's going to be a lot harder.
That's not going to be a call. Potential shot for Itsu for Ari.
Sumo.
Gotta cut away from it. Itsu's not real. Tucker draws the 2-so. Tonomi, 400, 700. We move into the South rounds. Ari with a commanding lead yet again. Just like last game. Garth behind in second place, behind by around 9,000 points. Tucker solidly in last right now, albeit Tucker does have dealership right now. And Binyi in third, below the 30k line.
We've seen that the numbers that you see at the end of the East round are not necessarily indicative of what it's going to look like at the end of the game. Tucker has some excellent draws here. We'll just preemptively cut the Dora, following Ari on the left. And the shapes are strong enough that Tucker won't necessarily need them. I think if I'm Tucker here, I don't want to call the Haku.
There is a pair in Tucker's hand, so well now the pair is gonna be put into a 6, 7, 8 shape. Yeah, I would imagine not calling the Haku here. That is also a good shape. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Mon. Also 2, 3, so not quite perfect. Ishanten doesn't have the other pair. Well, now this is 10 Pi. Drop the 4-pin, waiting on the 1, 4, so. Couple of 1, 4 so's have already been sacrificed into the pond, but there's still a good amount of them left in the wall.
We might see a fight here. Binyi on the right is looking relatively strong with his pin shape. Garth across the table, Ishanten, so could find a tempi worth fighting with, especially if you draw the 5 Mon. Oh, there's the 8-pin. That's the Itsu draw. Ishanten means that Binyi's gonna fight. I was getting hyped up on the left because Ari was collecting 3s. I was thinking there might be a Sancho Godoko, but there's the tempi. And the Suji Trap Richi waiting on the 7-mon for Binyi. Richi Itsu.
Richi Itsu for Bin Yi. Does anyone else want to join in this battle?
Ari can follow 4-mon. Technically Ishanten for Chitoi.
Just fast discarding going on between Tucker and Bin Yi. That's gonna be
Tenpai for Garth.
Tenpai for Garth waiting on the 5-mon.
Oh, this is not a good tile. Garth could always 4-mon, and will.
Haku is ironically safe to drop now. Bin Yi's gonna complete the Itsu. Richi Itsu no Ura 52. Itsu finally comes out, and I finally understand why people don't usually go for Itsu. That felt very anticlimactic, and I am gonna be deflated.
That was a big though. I mean, Tucker, so unfortunate. 5 tiles in the wall, and not a single one drawn since the Richi was made. Got 2 other players got Tenpai in the meantime, and still no one drew 1-so or 4-so. It's a bit unfortunate to fall there. And it's going to be tough to come back now that there's no dealership. But Tucker does pair up the Dora, and Garth might have a hard time using his copy of the South.
Pair of Doras, and that's gonna be easily callable because it is the prevalent win. That would guarantee 4 Han for Tucker.
Among
Tucker could use
big.
Tucker could use 4 Han right now, given the hole that Tucker finds themselves in.
Ooh, big 5-mon draw. This is a huge Ishanten or Binji.
Bin Yi also has a shot to go for Ipeiko, while also going for the 3-sided Penchon 369-mon.
Yeah, this is an important pair for Garth on the right. Slowly getting to the position where that South is going to have to come out. But he's going to hold on to it for as long as he can. And every draw, every discard that he continues to hold on to that South, it makes it harder and harder for Tucker to get to a Tenpai. And now it's not coming out.
3-sided Richi by Bin Yi waiting on the 369-mon. That's not quite gonna be Pinfu. Somehow this still scores as a Penchon wait.
And Garth
But still,
jams. Just shoves the 5-mon. 5-mon says, I've got the Dora. I'm going to take the widest Ishanten, holding 1-1-2 pin. Tucker's highly incentivized to fight here. Throws out a copy of the 5-mon as well. Genbutsu. Ishanten now for Garth after pulling in the 1 pin.
Is that a call for the White Dragon? Gonna not call it. Giving very safe foldable tiles.
Yeah, Ari is out.
And that 3-pin would have moved Bin Yi down to Ipeiko.
Not as many tiles live in the wall for Binyi as you might expect. There's only 1 9-mon, 1 6-mon, and only 2 copies of the 3-mon. So 4 tiles live. Turns out the 8-pin Tonki would have been a faster win than the 369.
Garth is stuck in Ishanten purgatory.
Same for Tucker on the left. Lots of clears. Oh, finally the 9 comes through. Richi Sumo.
Richi Sumo. No Uras. Still going to be 4,000 points.
And you really, I don't know if BE remembers, but man, that 8-pin Tonki would have been huge if somehow you could have made that call. Of course, you never would in this situation. BE up to 35 for, excuse me, just about 5,000 points away from first.
Ari's going to be feeling a little bit of the heat. Ari also does have the last dealership.
So speaking of Ari, there's a Haku pair. There's an East pair, which is Dora. Ipeiko Brewing, 2 away from Tenpai.
I do see a potential shot of cutting out the 4-5 pin, maybe trying to make a push towards Honitsu.
We've seen in the previous games, though, that Ari doesn't force Honitsu. It would really require drawing the Chun first. It doesn't look like that's going to happen because Garth is holding a pair.
South is gonna come out. South will come out again. South will come out again. Come on, Garth, complete it!
Didn't have the opportunity. We'll call instead
Boom.
for Tempai here. It's just on the 6-0, but lots of opportunity to improve that weight. Hang on a second. Garth also Tempai 9 mon for So. And danger for Tucker.
Open Peiko's not a thing.
It is not. Oh, Tucker with door 2s. He's going to have to throw this 9 mon out, and that's going to deal into the cheap hand. Just 1,000 points, but it is a little tricky here. Tucker keeps getting door 2 hands and not being able to finish them in time. Everyone else getting to Tempai first. It is Garth now who sits in the dealer seat.
It also takes dealership off of Bin Yi, who has been chasing for first place, so potentially Bin Yi could coast through this game. I don't see Bin Yi falling to 4th, maybe try to win a few more hands to stay above the 30k line.
I mean, Biggie is actually just one hand away from overtaking first place, so certainly has that to fight for. Dora pair up from Garth, though, is going to be pretty spicy.
Cuts the 6 So.
Just likes the shapes as he has them. Sahatsu now, it will be. Tucker across the table, going for more than that Yakuhai, trying to find the Tanyao shift. And, you know, when you're in this position, you're dreaming up value. You try to find more than what you have. 2-4 Sanshoku is the route. You find your pair of the 6-0 or 8-0. You shift that 4-mon pair into a 4-3-2. Dream a little.
That is pretty good Ishanten by Ari. Still has the out to call the White Dragon and then have a 4-5 Ryeonman wait.
Speaking
well,
of...
there's a Haku. Gonna call that take Tenpai, waiting for the 3-6 mon.
Insta-palm. Garth gets an improvement of shape here. Can go 1-so, 3-so. Can't cut the 1-mon preemptively.
Ends up cutting away from the 1-3 shape, keeping that wide 1-2-2 mon.
That makes the most sense to me, of course. If you do get Tempai, you're likely going to declare the Richi on 2-mon west Shampon, but in the meantime, you might as well give yourself the chance to draw the 3-mon towards Tempai.
Let's get a little bit ambitious. What happens if Ari draws the 7-mon? Sanchoku?
I think Ari, and from this score position, is only interested in winning as quick as possible. Now with the Richi from Binyi, definitely not going to grade the Sanchoku. It's one of those where you acknowledge it, and then you let it go.
Tenpai Richi by Bin Yi. I'm just gonna let the colored tiles tell you what Bin Yi's waiting for.
Yeah, it's just the 3-6, so all the mon tiles are complete in hand.
Sometimes getting Tenpai on a 2-2-3-4 shape. Gotta be Sumo by Ari. Haku no Mi. But that keeps the game going.
Yeah, going into all last, it's gonna be a pretty wide margin here to catch up. Just over 8,000 points for Binyi. Just over 10,000 points for Garth. But that means both players are within Mangan Sumo range, and so we'll be aiming for those Mangan hands. To accomplish that, Binyi across the table might have some type of flush in the Pinzu. Although he is holding a copy of the door. When you've got a door, that means all sorts of Richi lines are open. You only need Richi Tsumo Dora Ura in order to make up that gap. Garth, on the other hand, holding 2 copies of the Dora, so he also has a Mangan route.
That is 4 pairs for Garth, with one of those pairs being the Red Dragon. So could shift out of 7 pairs, calling the Red Dragon potentially.
He might just be able to find Itsu as well. Itsu with the Dora is another route to the Mangan.
6-pin draw is going to be an upgrade from the 779 to the 677.
Tenpai for Tucker here.
Tenpai for Tucker, waiting for the 4-7 So. I think only 4 So would be Yaku.
Well, it's
Pinfu,
Pinfu.
Pinfu.
But yeah, Forso
Pinfu,
gives
yes.
the Sanchoku. And so there's no Ricci here. It's kind of interesting. I think Tucker has made it a goal to bring someone below 3,000 points. Will not sumo this, presumably.
Unfortunate decision time.
Just throwing the Wenbon out. Might end up declaring a Furita Ricci and hoping to reach Sumo Pifutanyao.
What is the play going to be here?
The issue is that even a
Yeet.
Mongon Sumo isn't enough to drag someone below. We'll just take the Ricci. Reach Ipatsu Sumo Pifutanyao Ura. Okay, no Ipatsu, so now we need Ura too.
Gonna need Ura 2 also being in Fur 10, so Tucker's gonna have to draw the tiles themselves.
Oh, I forgot there's a Dora draw, and that's what makes this work.
So
Yes.
only gonna need one Ura then?
Oh, yes.
Boom.
That was the difference. And Garth calls into Tempai now, Tanya Dora 2, just aiming for second place here.
Bin Yi's hand looking like a minefield, albeit that Formon is actually safe.
Yeah, this is Tempai. Oh, you wish you had that 9-pin back.
Kang.
Khan?
So this is gonna give Tucker more opportunities for Ura if Tucker ends up winning this hand.
There's plenty of 4-7 live in the wall. Even though the 1 is dead, there is a chance. 2-5-pin for Garth is also not quite as live as Tucker's weight, but still 3 copies in the wall.
Full fold by Bin Yi. I imagine this is where this table's gonna end.
Yeah, Ari is out as dealer, so we're not gonna see a repeat here.
Another 7-mon comes out.
Oh, 4 is not gonna do anything. That's 1 less tile, and the 7-mon for Ari. That's another tile gone. Suddenly, Tucker's running out of tiles. Where did they all go?
Tucker's only got 1 more draw left. That
There's-
2-pin would deal in, but I imagine it
Ugh,
stays.
you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. It's gonna be the Tanya Door 2 for Garth. There were back-to-back-to-back dealing tiles drawn by anyone but Tucker, and then back-to-back tiles for Garth, but Tucker couldn't hold it. And that will end the game. It's Ari taking the win, plus 27.4. Garth, second place, a 13.4 finish. B stays over 30,000 points and collects 4.1 for his third. Tucker, really unfortunate game. They'll get minus 44.9.
Ari will take that win and stay in 4th place on the leadership board, albeit moving a little bit closer to Julian. Garth and Bin Yi will benefit from this game. Tucker joining Garth down in the relegation zone. So I was saying earlier, the pressure's on A2 as well, because there's only so many promotion spots. There's more demotion spots than promotion spots, by the way. Have you been feeling the pressure, Nathaniel, this season with A2?
Pressure? None. I've been absolutely chilling in A2. Not because I'm sitting, right in the middle of the standings, but I've just been enjoying playing in A2 division as a whole. And I cannot wait for my upcoming series. I've got Jonathan, who's been in A1 a bunch. I've met him there. But I get to play against Rachel. I haven't played against her at all in quite a while. And ID as well will be in that series. So it's going to be a fun one. We'll be playing next Wednesday, I believe.
We were talking a little bit about the reunion of Garth and Jen in A2, and as it stands, they're going to be moving down to B1 together.
Well, it only looks that way right now. We're only, even for Jen, under 8 games, not even through 2 series yet. So a lot can happen, a lot can change in the meantime. I certainly showed that last season And it should be a lot of fun because I get to play both Jen and Garth in Session 5.
You looking forward to it, Nathaniel?
Oh, absolutely. I've been
Yeah.
hoping to play Jen and
privilege-
Garth since they joined the league. At that time, though, I was in A1 and they were starting from the bottom, so it took a while for them to climb up. And now I've dropped down to A2 to meet them. And I even when Garth was in A1 division, I didn't get to play him. I never got scheduled against him, so it'll be my first time playing against Garth, and I am very excited.
This must be how pitchers feel awaiting pitching to Shohei Ohtani, like such a big name in the circle. Like, okay, I'm ready for this challenge. You're a good player. I think I'm a good pitcher. We're gonna have a fun battle. Intentional walk.
I want to know what the Mahjong equivalent of intentional walk is.
What would the Mahjong equivalent of intentional walk
We'll
be?
put that thought on hold because Garth gets massively punished for greeting the Honitsu here. Could be Tenpai right now. One so
You gotta
Haku.
change the screen.
Oh dear, are we not looking at this? Oh no. Here it is for everybody.
Radio cast. Garth will take first dealership, greeting for Honitsu. Now starting to reach the yellow light phase, discarding honor tiles.
Ishantan already. If you can pair up the Hatsu, that could be potential Mongon. Green Dragon still 2 live in the wall, and 1 copy held by Bin Yi. One thing I noticed,
Khan.
Khan?
That's not gonna help Garth out, but I always find Khan to be an interesting play because not only does it boost the value of your hand, but it boosts the value of everyone else's hand.
Yeah, it really feels like Garth was fishing for a good draw there, not necessarily caring about the value bump, but couldn't find the draw, so now big opportunity for anyone who can declare a Ricci here, and Ari in particular on the right looking to take advantage of this con.
It might be early in the season, Garth at the 7-game mark, but he's got to be feeling some pressure already of like facing another demotion.
That's true when you're... Oh, Ipatsumo. Not only does Ari pick up the new Dora draw into Tenpai, but we'll find Ipatsumo. It's going to be another Hanuman. Ew with the Ura, almost Baimon.
Hanuman for Ari.
How many times have we
Ari
seen
takes
this?
it.
Over
Ari takes
40,000.
a commanding lead again.
Yeah, over 40,000
early in the game.
in the early East rounds.
Boom.
Okay, funny story. Tucker, Hatsu pair. Biyi, Haku pair. Garth, Chun pair.
So what does that leave for Ari?
Probably the only player who has a chance to win. That's usually how it goes. Everyone's scrapping for the dragon, and then someone just declares a Ricci. But Tucker's fast here. Hatsupon, it's efficient to cut the door shape, but do you really want to give up your Dora?
Especially if you downgrade down into 1 Han, you gotta go for the Dora shape. There's also gotta be some societal shame in going for a 1 Han hand. I was playing in a Hong Kong table in the Milwaukee area, and one person at our table won what they called a chicken hand, where you have 0 points in it, and they felt so terrible about it that we ended up agreeing to have a 1-point minimum, just because they felt so bad about winning a hand that had no value in it.
Yeah, I mean, some places the chicken hand is not a legal hand, so maybe they're accustomed to that being the case, but...
Oh, triplet of Chuns for Garth now has the ability to call the hand.
Yeah, that will help him out a lot, because this hand looks like it needs it, but Big Yi finds the Tenpai first. In fact, didn't even get the Haku call. So it just slams a Ricci, waiting on the 7-mon. No Sanchoku here, but Ricci plus Dora is usually good enough to call. Tenpai for Tucker as well.
Tenpai by Tucker waiting on the Dora indicator.
Oh, that 6-pin came too late.
Tenpai for Garth waiting on the 6-so. gonna be a Dama, so gotta see if he flies under the radar.
Yeah, looks like Garth can improve this weight pretty significantly. 8 so draw, 4 so draw.
Sumo.
Oh, Tucker steals it away.
Tucker draws it. Hatsudora 3,000, and that's gonna move the game along, taking the dealership from Ari and moving it on to Tucker. Tucker probably wants to come out of this game feeling some positive feeling after the burner that was last game, finishing in 4 digits.
Yeah, they got really unfortunate that last game, so you're hoping that the flow changes for the next one. Not so bad here in terms of the starting high pipe, but East is by its lonesome. It's always tricky when you've got the East as Dora in the East round, but the 8-mon fills a nice Conton shape.
Adding to the toughness of the East in this situation, you've also got an East in the hand of Binyi and Ari. So, aren't even gonna end up pairing it up and then East gets dropped, called.
Yeah, it's really a race. And you notice Biggie holding on to this East. Could have thrown it right there. Could have thrown the 5-pin even. But really hedging the door acceptance. And this isn't the first time he's done this. Likes to hold on to those value honor tiles.
Garth, in the meanwhile, is just building a hand straight up. East is gonna get dropped. That might prompt another East drop here. Still gonna hold on to it, cutting away from the 6-6-8 shape.
Yeah, perhaps Tucker was thinking about not taking the Shampoo weight anyway.
Boom.
Looking to improve that, so decides to hold
Call
on to the East a little bit longer.
Call by Garth gonna cut away from that 1-2 Mon shape. I believe that would be Rian Shanten for Garth.
The secrets are revealed. 4-mon cut from Tucker indicates that they're thinking about Chanta, and that's a reason to keep the East for sure. Chanta or Junchan, one of the two.
Chi.
And the 6 so. And
Boom.
yeah, could have considered playing for Itsu by holding on to the 4-mon, but
Kang.
the play very clear now. Khan.
Another con by Garth. That makes the 8 so a little bit more valuable, but it's not gonna fit into Tucker's hand as nicely. This is Tenpai, but there's no Yaku.
Yeah, I might have just thrown that 8 so back out and kept playing for the East potentially. Because if we pull the 1 so, I'd like to be waiting on the East. Oh, but finds it. I think we got a misclick from Tucker. Had the Sanshoku Junchan Dora 1 Tenpai, and the 9 so came out so quickly, I think that was just an accidental right click. Sumogiri. Binyi, in the meantime, has called into Toy Toy Tenpai with potential Sanshoku Doko if for some reason the 6-mon comes out. Oh no, is Tucker disconnected? That 7 so would have been the Tsumo.
Ricci by Ari, waiting for the 2-5 pin. Tucker might be offline here. I was told that when someone goes AFK, then it becomes an all-push situation. Although I did have a game where I finished below the person who was AFK.
That could happen sometimes. 5-pin's a little bit tough to push here. But Bingy's going to give it a try for the tiny Toy Toy Sanchoku Doko, but it will deal in. Reach Pinshu, no Uda, just the 2,000 points for Ari.
Dealership will go over to Binyi. Ari still with the commanding lead. Binyi might have a potential shot for Sanshoku, but it's the high pie. We're being a little bit too ambitious here.
Yeah, it's a very, very much wait and see sort of high pie. Garth on the right holding a nice Dora 3-pin, and just really pretty shapes altogether. Can draw around the 2 so, can draw towards Itsu and the Pinse. Another hand that's going to be fishing for 1 tile to give it some direction. All right, yeah, we've got Pinfu type hand across the table. That south is not Yakuhai, so can be a Pinfu pair. Just gotta find the 7-pin. Maybe you can improve your shapes.
That is a potential Sanshoku for Ari with that 6-7-8.
We envision Tanyao as well, cutting the south pair now, drawing the 7-pin and the 7-so.
Decision for Tucker, gonna drop the 8-mon, which is irrelevant and redundant to the rest of the hand. Binyi's gonna start cutting out the west pair. A lot of annoying shapes in there, 2-4-6 mon and 4-6 so. You can pivot the 4-6 so into other directions, but I just have a natural aversion from the 2-4-6 shape for whatever reason.
Let's see, you just cut the 6-so preemptively, and then get 2-3-4 Sanchoku. In this case, B probably wants the 6 because of the 4-5-6 Sanchoku possibility.
Each.
Oh, it just hits the Tempai, and we'll declare the Suji Richi.
Suji Trap is looking good. 9-mon is sitting in that pawn to enforce the Suji possibility.
Garth
Is
just,
Tucker gonna see it?
yeah, Garth just got Tempai and declined the weight on just the 3-so. Didn't want to jam a 4 or 7-mon for just the 3-so Richi +1. Instead, we'll fish 4 more.
That's a triplet of 8 so for Tucker. 9-pin if you want to push. Okay.
Yeah, there's actually not that much that's safe here for Tucker. Like, the safest style might be the 3-mon, and that just steals it. 1-so Genbutsu.
1 so is looking safe yet again.
With all of these threes visible, so all the 2-so visible. The 1-sos come out, the 3-sos come out. So the lower side is clear.
This
Tempai.
Tenpai waiting for the 6 so. I imagine Garth has been there for a little bit.
Across the way, Ari just got there too, waiting on the 7-pin for Tanyao Sanchoku, but cannot drop the 2-pin too close to the door, and Garth just steals it.
Sumo Tanyao, Dora 2, Mongon for Garth. Garth getting over the 30k line going into South 1. Garth still chasing that first win of the season. And he's gonna have first dealership. Let's see what ends up unfolding here. Ari with a quick call for the Green Dragons, making this hand very callable. Potential shot at Toy Toy if Ari's able to get another pair of something.
Flush available as well, if you're willing to cut 5-mon, 7-mon. And that's a lot easier to cut than 5-6. We saw in a previous hand, Ari with the diamond shape, declining to push for the Honitsu. Now that Toy Toy is available, might also decline the Honitsu attempt. And there's the 5-mon. We'll see a pull almost certainly.
Pawned by Ari, one step closer to the Toy Toy. Garth has a very nice 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pin shape.
Yeah, Ari's just expecting to call the east and the west and win the Toy Toy. You're not really expecting to see the 4-so first.
Binyi is an E-Shanten with a good shot towards Tanyao, as Ari's gonna go into Tenpai waiting for the 4-so west.
And this is a bit of a concern, seeing the 7-mon come out late. You might think that there's an honor pair and then a 7-7-8 shape, so 6-9-mon is kind of dangerous. Of course, Toy Toy is always live when there's 3 pawns.
Binyi gonna keep the north, sensing some danger from the honor tile.
Tucker Ishanta with Dora 2 is probably going to try to fight this.
Garth is having a fun time drawing. In terms of efficiency, it would be good to cut the north here, but I don't think the north is going to come out. 2-so comes out.
B is always very aware of when the honor tiles are bad. Uh-oh, hang on a second. The 1-mon is dead. Still, 2-so, 1-so makes sense here. Can pawn into Tempai.
Each.
Garth finds the Tempai, will jam. 2-5-8 pin. A lot of the weight has been discarded already, but that means that Ari will not be able to use them if drawn. East is safe.
There's another north. That is 5 pairs for Bin Yi. Gonna cut out one of the pairs. And Garth is gonna deal into Ari, completing the Toy Toy Hatsu 5200. Garth will fall under the 30k line, gonna fall down to 3rd. Ari with a legit shot at 50k now.
Yeah, exactly as Ari expected to happen. Found the East, found the West. Found the Toy Toy 52. And now...
Garth has a triplet of the Souths as well, with a potential shift towards Honitsu. Double Red Dragon discards suggest otherwise. That 7-8 shape is very good. Now gotta be complete for 7-8-9.
Yeah, backdoor Chanta draws. Not really with the Yaku you're expecting to get, but you'll welcome it if you find it, especially closed. And there's a 3-so draw, so Shantan for Garth. Tucker on the right, Ishantan as well. Potential Pifu if the 7-so is drawn.
3-so is going to be thrown as Garth is definitely looking to hedge Chanta here.
Big 1-pin draw. That means Sanchoku's available, so keeping this 1-mon might pay out if you can find the 2-mon. Now, interesting proposition here. If you draw the 8-pin or the 5-pin, do you Richi waiting on the Kanchan 2-mon or to guarantee the Sanchoku? That guarantees 3 Han if you win it. It's just that the win rate's a little bit lower because you're waiting on Dora.
I mean, Bin Yi sitting in last place right now. Winning any significant hand would help a lot, even if the weight is not necessarily that good.
Ishantan now
Garth
for Ari.
Garth has been a magnet for 2 and 3-so draws, but holding on tight to that Chanta potential.
Yeah, if Garth can find the 3-pin into Tempai, no one will be expecting this 1-so 4-so weight with the way these tiles have come out. Oh, Dora draw. Just gonna let it go. Play Max.
Kumon is just gonna drop easy.
Yeah,
9-so gonna drop.
There are a lot of different plays that Ari could have made there.
We're kind of going on a little bit of a streak where no one needs tiles, seemingly. Richi by Garth waiting on the 1-4-so.
Gonna be chased.
1 would be Big Chanta. Richi by Ari waiting on the 4-7-mon.
This is where if you're Ari, you wish you had that 2-mon back. Being you just has to back away. There's the 1-so.
Garth gets Chanta. Richi non-Chanta.
Uda!
And the Ura hit! 12,000! That's gotta reverse it!
It's a
Ari's lead is gone! Garth has taken the lead!
I don't know about you, but if I was Adi, I saw that 1-so come to my head, I said, this might as well be Gembutsu. And it deals in instead for 12,000 points. Now, the pressure on Adi to come back, and now Tucker even has a chance.
Garth is in the driver's seat of this game now. Big Chanta coming through for him.
Big Chanta strikes yet again.
Chanta best hand, says Rose in the chat.
Okay, but they usually get Chanta open. This is how you do. This is how you get Hanuman for your Chanta. Big Ishan 10 for Garth Crossway. Perfect Ishan 10, you might say.
Perfect Ishan 10. Lots of pairs and a guaranteed out for
Tempai.
Tenpai. Richi waiting for the 3-6-mon.
3-mon we give Ipeko as well. Tucker says, let me try to improve my odds of winning here by attempting a Tanyao Sanchoku. He's going to try to find a way to navigate this hand to somehow steal a win here while being safe. Tries the 9 so first, then the Gambit's 6 pin. Still in striking distance. There's a 3-mon. That's one of the deal-in tiles. But you can hold it
That's
for now.
gonna come in safe into Binyi's hand. Binyi could also make a move towards
Dong.
That's gonna deal in. Garth with Ricci, Peiko. No Uras this time. Garth moves over the 40k mark.
Yeah, that's not a
Yep.
huge loss yet for Tucker. Decided that it was going to be a fight this hand. If you lose, now you're sweating your third place a little bit because Big E can overtake, but not out yet. It can still win 5-2 to get back over 30,000 points. Eyes on Big E though.
Start preparing the champagnes for Garth's first win. Pending. I have seen pictures where teams have choked it late and had to wheel the beer out of the locker room because they weren't going to celebrate that night. Being a Brewers fan is suffering. Binyi with a shot at Tanyao here. Also with a con that they're not going to call. I would imagine that never gets called.
Not yet, at least. If we draw something like 3-pin, you could absolutely see a con in the near future. 8-mon incentivizes a con as well.
Still have that 4-4-6 shape, however. Need to work in that 4-mon because it is
Con.
Dora.
Kang.
This is going to be a con. Nothing in particular helps.
Each.
There it is, the 147. Binyi says, Tempai? No, I can do better. Calls the con, finds the 3-sided weight. 147 pin now for Ricci, potential Tanyao. And Tucker needs to get out. East. No 1-pin left in the wall. 2 copies of the 4-pin, 2 copies of the 7-pin, and Tucker keeps drawing the bad tiles. Can start with the east one more time. The mon tiles are going to go through, so Tucker's going to have some options. 2-mon, 2-mon, 5-mon will go through, but 2 Dora, you really want to fight.
Binyi in that auto discard mode.
9-mon clears, the 7-mon also clears, so Tucker has to route in. Can start with a 7-9 and see what happens, but draws another of the deal-in tiles. This is just getting way too hard. This might even induce a deal-in from Tucker.
I don't think Tucker's going to be tempted like that. Garth has a shot for Tanya just to end the game.
Ah, here's that Ishan then. If Tucker draws 3-pin, that's going to be a fight, I think. Well, the 1-4-mon way is not very live. Ooh, maybe
Another dangerous tile lands in Tucker's hand.
Yeah, it's gonna be one pin try.
Tucker's gonna deal in. Ricci, Nomi.
Okay. Well, fortunately for Tucker, not too bad of a punish, but it's gonna be really tense here now for third place. And Garth still has to play out another hand from this first place position. This is another chance for Ari to catch up.
Binyi's hand is looking a little bit of a mess. Ari has a pair of the red dragons to call on top of a lot of other pairs. Could see a possible play for Honitsu, although I guess you said earlier, Nathaniel, that Ari doesn't really force Honitsu.
In this score position, you're kind of incentivized to, though, because you can open for 3,900, hit Garth directly, and that will overtake. Any other route is not really going to make it, except for Ricci, of course. And, you know, if you draw... If you call here, then it feels like you're playing the Honitsu.
Well, that's a call for the red dragons. Not quite confirming Honitsu yet. That 5-6 shape, is there a call there? No call.
That's the play. That's the value greed. Could have taken the Tempai.
Greeting for value. It is the first row discard, so it can be a little bit ambitious. There's the 9-pin draw. Gotta start chucking out the 5-6, so going for Honitsu. Take a
Don't.
direct hit at Garth. That's a call separating out the 9-pin.
Oh, Dama, so Garth is going to end it. Refuses to let the Honitsu come to fruition and will shut the game down. But hitting Tucker, that will not drop them below Binyi. And so when all is said and done, Garth will take the victory. Plus 28.2. Grab that champagne. There's the first top of the season for Garth. Ari, another positive result, plus 9.2. Not surprising given the way this game started. Although I'm sure I would have preferred a first place. 9.2 is still climbing up the division standings. Tucker, minus 13.3, narrowly dodges a fourth place here. But Binyi, minus 24.1, barely in that fourth place position. Not that bad considering that you're still over 20,000 points. And the scores standings will update presently, revealing a new position here in the A2 division. It is Ari in the fourth place at plus 86.4, having completed 11 games.
This is the unupdated version, I
Yeah,
think.
the updated one looks like it's been put on the right. Ari up to third now, 95.6 points.
Tucker falling into the demotion zone. Garth gets out of it. Binyi in the negatives. Ari looking like a good shot for A1.
Yeah, and of course, it's still just game 12. For Tucker, we were talking about how Garth was in the demotion zone and really only took a couple good games to be outside of that relegation zone, currently at minus 45.2. So definitely some more work to do. But in these early goings, you're not really considering yourself to be in relegation just yet. I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of pressure there, but you have to continue to play good mahjong and see what happens. And around session, maybe at the end of session 4, as you get to session 5 and session 6, you could really think about how to avoid that relegation. But for now, we're just in the wait and see mode.
I'm gonna throw out a hypothetical for you here. Put yourself in Korak's boots for a moment. Earlier in the week, saying in one of the chats, "Don't believe in Big Chanta's lies." Then watching tonight's stream, seeing all the Chanta bombs, especially the one for Hanemom.
Hey, I guess if you're lucky, you can do it. If you have the flow, then you can go for Big Chanta.
So true.
This message was sponsored by Big Chanta. I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't sponsored by Big Chanta. I totally didn't receive a check from them to say that.
All right. Well, there was only one session for the night. Hey, shout out Binyi. Thank you for scheduling your games tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I was accompanied by Hanemon twice.
I remember.
Ben Yi sliding into the commentary box, and we're just having a chill with him right now.
Yeah, I remember that is East 1 of one of the games. It's just Hanemon Sumo right off the gate. And tough to come back from that.
That was also a crazy run. I believe it was in game 2, Ben Yi, where you were winning basically one Han, two Han, bunch of one Han, two Han hands, and just clawing your way into the lead. That was an insane.
Like that one. I was accompanied by a Hanemon, so how I get it back? So I win 6 times, making a Kazue Hanemon.
Kasue Hanemon, yeah, it's true. Just continue to win as the dealer that's right. I feel like that was even game 1, but I remember that in particular because there is right out of the gate we had Garth as the first dealer, and he had just the perfect hand, it seemed, for Hoitsu Toi Toi Yakuhai. And I saw you hold the tune for forever, and that prevented him from winning the hand. The next dealer also had Hoitsu in the Pinzu, and once again the tune was held, preventing them from completing the hand. Later in the game, Tucker was Atosuke waiting for the tune, and I think you held the tune in that hand as well, preventing Tucker from getting the win. As it seemed to be a common theme where you were holding the dangerous honor tile, preventing players from opening.
I also have one game that I had most likely perfect read and end up tempo with that hand. Is that open with a Tanyao that is not confirmed yet? Then I hold a Tuso, really interesting Tuso, and pair that up and go into Tenpai.
Oh man, I'd love to see that handy. Do you remember which game that was?
Give me a sec. I'm looking back to the records.
Yeah, there were so many moments in those games where I thought there was a lot of really nice nuance. Of course, with so much going on, we can't always call it out, but um, I really liked the Honor Keeps. Some nice Mawashi around Richie hands as well from all of the players. And 4 games in the books for this A2 Table 1.
Well, it is Halloween week. Did the Chanta play and the Nickel and Dime play? Are you going to be able to sleep well tonight, Nathaniel?
I think I will be able to. It's
Ah,
it's always a little spooky when Chanta becomes a Hanama, but you know what? It's always fun to see. We love it here in the Midwest.
Yeah, and I also have the Sanshoku Doko chance.
The sixes.
Yeah, I feels like I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, so there was a buy mod. We saw that on stream yesterday, and it's now is I was wondering if you were partly incentivized to push that 5-pin because the Doko was just too good to on stream. The
Yep.
stream value was too high, so you had to push it.
But end up with the bad doubts, and I have no comment for that.
Well, we appreciate you attempting it at the very least. It was very exciting.
Yeah,
That being
like
said,
I knew
we have hit the end of our day. No more games live, and so I think we're gonna call it. We will be back next week with more Armel action. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks Bing Yi for hopping on for a little bit of post game interview. I want to shout out Ty earlier for the commentary. It's awesome to hear
Ty,
his voice
Ty,
again.
Ty putting in the sickness game. Mad respect for doing commentary through the sickness.
And John as well for being here for the entirety of this broadcast. Of course, folks, don't forget to check out the website, AmericanReachy.org, for live updated standings of the divisions and the games as they come in, as well as our YouTube channel at American Reachy on our socials and our YouTube as well to catch all of our broadcasts. We will break, have a happy Halloween, and we will catch you next Wednesday for more American Reachy Mahjong League.